The 17th hole at Cedar Ridge, where the tournament leader, Jan Stevenson, is at the moment. And Rossi, do you want to set us up again on where a tee shot went?
She drove in a left-hand rough, Jack, and even though it's the worst place you can be with the pin position today, it is smart to hit it over there because of the bunker. With a 3-shot lead, I would think that it's not that bad. However, she has 195 yards, probably 190 or 85 to carry the water. And she has the kind of a lie that, again, you have to worry about it kind of dipping. When it sometimes when you hit it out of this Bermuda rough, it tends to drop on you very quickly. So she's going to have to get a lot of club head on it. You might consider even laying up in a spot like that, but she's got a wood out.
All right, there's her position on our graphic, and here it is live. Whichever way she goes, Jack, you have to go to the right. Now, she's a little undecided here, but whatever swing she makes, you just better hold on with your left hand. Yes, you want that ball coming out there going right somehow. This is it. The water is where she can't afford to go. Right. And then you're looking at maybe double or triple. 3-stroke lead. She can afford to make a 5 here very easily. 2 5s. That's where it started.
She's got it going way right. Up into the gallery.
That is right of the trap and almost out on a cart path, and I wonder if she has a shot. Are there any tree problems there?
Well, I don't think there's any trees there to worry about, but she doesn't have the easiest of shots, that's for sure.
Rossi, there is a tree there. Now, she may get a break, Jack, in that cart path could possibly interfere with her stance of swing, but we'll have to wait and see if, in fact, it does. Also, she's in that Bermuda rough, isn't she? But she's not in that H2O to the left. If you had to bail out, you got to go right. All right. Debbie Meisterlin, who's come apart a little bit today after a gallant round yesterday, and she's put it over there too a little bit into the bunker, though, which is much safer. That's the shot she'll have. And up at the 18th green, Amy Alcott, who was going along so well until she took a quadruple bogey at the 7th hole on the front. She was only 1 shot out of the lead at that point. She is now 11 over par, 7 shots behind. There's the leaderboard as it stands at the moment. Joanne Carter finished in the clubhouse. Patty Sheehan out, and we're looking at Amy Alcott, former U.S. Open Women's Champion. This is for par. Oh, drop for her. Just that short. And she'll finish 12 over in the championship. Amy Alcott. Now all the drama and action is at the 17th, and it's drawing a crowd there on the right. Are you there, Ross?
Yes, I am, Jack, and the tree is going to interfere with her. There's no question about that, but she's now testing as to whether she is standing on the cart path or not, and I think she's going to ask for a ruling, and rightfully so.
Frank Hannigan of the USGA, does that look like she may get relief?
Yeah, well, you see, the cart path is something artificial on the golf course. Therefore, it's an obstruction. And if it interferes with either her stroke or her stance, she's entitled to relief. And right now, she's calling over Judy Bell, the chairman of the USGA Women's Committee, and the referee for this pairing, and they're discussing the rules situation. She may well decide that even though she is entitled to relief, she's better off playing the ball than picking it up and dropping it again in that Bermuda rough. Depends on what kind of lie it is, Rossi.
All right, let's go up ahead to the 18th now. This is Patty Sheehan, also with Joanne Carter at 7 over. It's her second shot on this uphill par 4. But let's go back to the 17th. She was still undecided. And here comes Patty Sheehan into the 18th.
And it's coming in rather quickly. It doesn't hold up at all, and she's going to have a sizable putt there, where she very much would have liked birdie putt. And now we're back at the 17.
Jack, it seems to me that Stevenson's problem over there may be that if she decided to take a drop, well, she's not now. She's going to play out the sand. But that she would, you can't ever drop nearer the hole. You understand what I'm saying? Don't ever think you can move closer. That's all other kind of game. She's still not real sure. She may have had to drop on the other side of the cart path. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe her nearest point of relief because of stance and swing. Isn't that right, Frank, or am I wrong?
No, there are three possibilities. She's always got to drop in the nearest place that avoids the condition. That could be either to the left, to the right, or directly behind the cart path. So I can't tell what her options were from looking at a monitor.
Here's how she got in that present predicament. Her drive, as you might remember, was to the left and in the rough. And from there, she took a wood. And she had a long shot to get to the green, but the thing she wanted to do was to avoid the blue color there on the left, the water. She had to keep it to the right. And what she did was kept it a little too much to the right. However, now she has a 3-stroke lead. And I would think, David, she'd take 5 here very happily.
Well, she'll take 5, but what she's trying not to do is take 6
yeah.
and have 18. And, of course, just ahead, Patty, you know, she's got a putt that you can make. Obviously, you can make any putt that you ever have. But so much on her line. Rossi, she looks like she may be looking to the right of that tree. Now, does she have to go over that bunker by the green?
Yes, she does, David. And as far as the drop was concerned, it was decided that she did not have a drop coming. The only way she would have had a drop is if she was going to pitch out to the left. And I think under the equity rule that has been invoked for the last few years, that you cannot say that you're going one way and then take a drop and then play the other way. Is that right, Frank?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You see now as her stance is she didn't really have interference by the cart path, so she was not entitled to a drop.
Got a tough shot now. Hurry.
She played a great shot.
Oh,
Beautiful shot.
Well, that should be a sure 5. But let's wait and see. She's been putting so well all week. And remember, she's got 3 strokes. And up here at the 18th green, some of the crowd there in the grandstands to the right and down the fairway. As Patty Sheehan takes a look from the other side at her sizable putt here. Say about 40 feet, 45 feet. She is +7, 3 strokes behind Jan Stevenson. Tied with Joanne Carner, who has completed the championship at +7.
Jack, this could be a big turnaround if she should happen to make this one. Stevenson goes 5-5.
And we're here tomorrow. It's got a chance. Oh, what a lovely try. Didn't she just give it everything? Huh? There's the gallery at 18, appreciating that marvelous putt by Patty Sheehan. Now we're down at the 17th, where Stevenson is on in 3 now on the par 4. She just made such a great shot at 12 there from the right or left rough, wasn't it? To get it up 4 feet to make birdie, and then she saved a marvelous par at 13. And she made a birdie on the front after a double bogey, and they're the kind of things that win championships. Look at this. Oh,
that is really good.
Oh, was that a lovely putt? There's a marvelous putt, had a chance all the way.
She got the best she could do there.
Bogey 5, that puts her at 5 over. 2-shot cushion coming up 18. And Pat Bradley has just putted out in this competition. Patty Sheehan now for par to remain at +7, tied with Joanne Carner and 2 shots behind Jan Stevenson. Patty was the co-leader after the first round. She led after 36 holes. Stumbled a little bit yesterday. Couldn't quite get a real charge going today. Yes, in with the par here at 18. Patty Sheehan completes the championship at +7, tied with Joanne Carner. And we'll go in and wait for Jan Stevenson to come up. His par 4 18th hole. The 18th hole is a par 4, uphill to this big green. Here it is. Just remember, it is uphill and slight dogleg. And 3 rather large traps around the green. Here's the whole hole from tee to green. And always remember, you might not be able to see that rough so much, but it is Bermuda rough. There are a few problems if you don't hit the fairway. Jan Stevenson, except for the 17th, has been doing a pretty good job off the tee.
That was her first bogey since the 5th hole. I mean,
Mhm.
she's just making par after par. After, as you pointed out, the double bogey at 3, the birdie 4, bogey 5, and just really been steady and playing very well from that point on.
Hold it up there.
Well, it's not the worst of all positions to be in, is it, on the final tee with the 2-shot pad? It's going left, isn't it, Roger?
Yes, it's hooking. It's going to be in the rough, but not bad though, Jack. It's sitting. In fact, it's just sat up beautifully in the rough. I think would play some kind of a shot in front of the green rather than try and put it on the green and into the bunker.
David?
We'll take a look at Jan's swing here. She looks very comfortable with me standing to the ball. Her arm position's very good. See a good shoulder turn behind the ball. We'll try to see what causes that hook. Maybe she turns out of the way a little too soon with her left side. You can see her spin out there. The weight was not on her left heel, which is going to cause the club head to go to the left. And that's surprisingly enough, when the club head goes to the left, a lot of times that's where the ball goes.
All right, we're walking up the 18th, the final group, with Jan Stevenson with a 2-stroke. Now here's a message from the United States Golf Association.
I love golf, and this bag tag is a symbol of my commitment to the game. It's the mark of every USGA associate. The United States Golf Association has set the standards that have kept the game great since 1894. Among other things, the USGA conducts national championships and makes sure that our equipment conforms with the rules of golf. When I'm with the USGA associates, I'm in good company. We're all people who love and support the game. Even in a crowd, when I see another golfer with an associate's bag tag, I know that there's a special bond between us. If you love golf, become an associate for just $20 a year by calling this toll-free number. In appreciation of your support, you'll receive the rules of golf, a full year of Golf Journal, and your associate's bag tag. Won't you call now and join us? You'll be in good company.
As we wait for the leader to hit her second shot on the final hole, here are the scores of some of the other players, all of whom, of course, have finished their competition in this year's U.S. Women's Open Golf Championship. Amy Alcott there, who had one terrible hole today that ruined her chances. 4 over par, 8 on a par 4. Beverly Davis, the amateur, there, 20 over. See? Your names, some of them there. Heather Farr, the low amateur with 12 over par for the championship.
Good playing. She's a good player.
And she had a 69 on Friday, which was the second low round of this championship, second only to Joanne Carner, and that's not bad at any time. Sandra Haney there, former champion. Jane Locke, the Australian, who was very much in it for the last few holes. Same for Debbie Meisterlin. Kathleen McCarthy, local amateur, played well here. Sandra Palmer, a former champion, did not have a good week. Now, let's move back out to the final pairing here. Debbie Meisterlin and Jan Stevenson. Meisterlin started the day 5 over. She's now 16 over, 11 over in today's round. Par here, we'll give her an 82. But here is the woman of the hour. Jan Stevenson at age 31, 5 feet 5 inches tall, 115 pounds, proving once again that you need not be a giant to play this game.
Got to watch this ball doesn't go to the right because of the downhill line with her feet above it. She's hit it right at the flag.
She sure has.
Got a left
There it
kick.
is.
Beautiful shot, Jim.
Going to go off the back, but not too far. There we have it. Well, I don't know whether she's going to putt that, however, but she can make 5 here and win the championship.
I don't believe I'd putt that. How good's your putter?
Nope. So she does have a problem. As we say, the 2-stroke bulge was the most important thing for her here, rather than 1 stroke. Debbie Meisterlin now.
It's left.
Yeah. That also is going over. And a bit further over. So that Jan Stevenson will have the benefit of watching Debbie's shot, which is from somewhat the same angle and should have the same roll going toward the flagstick. Still other scores. Patty Rizzo had a good championship fair. Finished at 8 over. More amateurs. Good many amateurs who made the cut and played all 72 holes.
That has a lot to do with the college programs, Jim. There's an awful lot of good college competition, and there's, as a matter of fact, a lady out here this week that I met, Dale McNamara, who's the coach of the Tulsa University team, had 10 of her former players playing in the U.S. Open. I think that's a remarkable feat, really. And her daughter played.
And that didn't include one of her former players who wasn't here, Nancy Lopez. All right, here is the reception for Jan Stevenson, who appears to be walking her way to victory. I tell you, that's a great deal of enthusiasm here in the near 100-degree heat. It's amazing that anybody came out here, but look at them, they're running in the 100 degrees to get a good look. The crowd had not been as big as they had hoped, but my goodness.
Well, I've always thought that the golf fan was a special fan because
Yes.
you really never do, if you look at a picture of the trophy, you never do get to see every shot as you would in a basketball game or a football game, and they come out in the heat and rain and cold and wind and everything else.
They sure do. Okay, Rhonda Glenn is down below with Patty Sheehan.
Jim, I know Patty looked highly and certainly understandably disappointed when she walked off the 18th green. Did you feel that you played well today, Patty?
Well, I had another streak of 3 bogeys in a row, and you get that streak going, and it takes a little bit out of you, and I couldn't quite get the birdies to drop. I had several opportunities, but never could get anything to drop.
On this golf course, though, anything can happen, even with a lead going into the 3rd round and being a little bit behind. It's very hard to make up any shots on this course, is it not?
It certainly is. Birdies don't come easily. Easy birdies you see in the trees, but there aren't any here on this course.
All right, thank you very much. We'll go back to play now.
The play specifically of Debbie Meisterlin off the 18th green. 3rd shot on the par 4.
Not bad.
Jan Stevenson watching that very carefully to see exactly what the break is. She said from almost the same angle. Debbie still has a tough one for her par 4.
And it's been a long day, too. But she hasn't been in this position in a while, and she should feel proud that, she's played in the last group 2 days in a row. And
There you see Jan Stevenson in the U.S. Women's Open. Best she had there was a tie for 4th. A little hot? Yeah.
a little speedy, but
Well, she still has 2 putts to get down for a bogey 5 and win the championship. She'll have to make sure of that.
sometimes you can play too safe. You see players start to wobble. if she had to make 4-4 to finish it, you get the guarding against things. To me, it's like that awful prevent defense. As they say in football, where everybody in the world scores touchdowns. It doesn't prevent anything but getting through faster.
Right. Exactly. We've seen that so many times in the men's tournaments too, where, as you say, somebody's going to play it safe. What it seems to mean is they start swinging more softly, and everything comes apart.
Even though Debbie is not away, she's going to finish, as you'll see most of the time, because then Jan will have 2 putts for the win. So go ahead, Debbie, and make yours. Try to get them next year.
Too bad. Yet another bogey for Debbie Meisterlin to bring her in 17 over for the championship, 12 over in today's round. It's a round of 83.
Well, that's too bad.
There it is. Now then, the climactic moment is approaching for Jan Stevenson. We notice on our local affiliate here that they have a little thing in the corner of their picture that says weather warning. Well, looks like we're going to make it. Another thunderstorm must be approaching, as we had yesterday. We made it yesterday. Well, there you see the object of it, the trophy, along with it, of course, $36,000. The championship means a great deal, as she said earlier.
Well, it means more than the first prize. You keep trying to tell people that. It'll be a great win.
Not in, but good enough. The tap in will win the U.S. Women's Open for Jan Stevenson. She's done it.
It looked like she said, "I can't believe I won. I'm not good at being lips, but
She started the day at 3 over, finished at 6 over, a round, and 3 over par round of 74. And although bogeying the last 2 holes, that 3-stroke bulge did it for her. Jan Stevenson of Australia is the American Women's Open Golf Champion.
looked like she had a pretty good arm there. She winged that right into the gallery.
That's right. Well, they play Australian rules football down there. It's not like soccer. They use their arms and their hands.
That is some game to watch, that Australian rules.
There's a guy who got it. A little souvenir to take home from the championship. And that was Patty Sheehan there, congratulating Jan Stevenson as she moves directly to the scorer's tent to check and authenticate her score. A wide look at the plains across which the wind comes sweeping in the wintertime in Oklahoma. No wind today, absolutely still. Here is your leaderboard. Stevenson the winner by 1 over Patty Sheehan and Joanne Carner. Joanne Carner, after being in 101st place at the end of the first round, shooting 81, comes within a single stroke of winning the championship. But Stevenson is the winner for the first time. Carner's already had that honor twice before. There you see Patty Rizzo and Kathy Morse, Myra Van Hoos, Dot Germain, all of whom gave excellent accounts of themselves. Pat Bradley there and Jane Locke, the other Australian, Amy Alcott, Judy Clark, Heather Farr, the low amateur, once again, at 12 over for this year's U.S. Women's Open. Janet Coles.
She got her van stolen last night, Janet Coles, and had to play with a set of clubs today. I don't know where she picked them up. So, really, that's good playing when you think that the poor girl had to go out with a brand new set of clubs, or at least different set of clubs.
Yeah, she shot 75 today. Nothing too wrong with that. Still more of the scores in the Women's Open. Now concluded in Tulsa, Oklahoma, technically in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, outside Tulsa. At the Cedar Ridge Country Club. Hollis Stacy did not have one of her good U.S. Opens. She almost always plays well in this tournament. Kathleen McCarthy, the amateur there.
Good player, Kathleen. She can really hit it, too.
There you see 4 amateurs at the bottom of that board. Debbie Hall, Charbonnier, another of the Japanese players there. Sandy Palmer, a former champion. And bringing up the rear of those who made the cut, you saw on the board right there. Jan Stevenson continuing to check it all over. She's responsible for it. Kathy Whitworth, the leading money winner of all time on the women's tour, signed a wrong scorecard as recently as this Friday and was disqualified for the tournament. Monday Night Baseball tomorrow night, the Yankees against the White Sox. Both of them gone very, very well this year. Or the Chicago Cubs against the Philadelphia Phillies. That's at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, 6:30 Pacific time.
You should be really on this, I guess.
Dave Marr, it's on to L.A. for us, to the Riviera Country Club and the PGA Championship.
And another really great tournament, too. Plus, let's not forget the Long Drive Championship. Some guy wants to drive out there in a gorilla suit. I don't know if they're going to let him, but I just want to have a look at him.
There are the times, anyway. Gorilla or no gorilla, Friday night, 11:30 Eastern. We'll have a program for you. Highlights the first two rounds. Saturday at 4:30 Eastern. Sunday at 3:30 Eastern. The PGA Golf Championship. Can Tom Watson keep it going after winning the British Open and finally win his first PGA Championship? The executive producer of ABC Sports is Ruth Arledge. Coverage of today's tournament was produced by Terry Jastrow and directed by Jim Jeanette and Bob Lanning. Our technical directors were Werner Gunther and Gary Larkin. The associate producers, Ben Harvey, Barbara Donahue, and Jimmy Roberts. And the associate director, Jack Graham. This ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by U.S. F&G Insurance, protecting your business, your home, your auto, and your life through 6,500 independent agents across the USA. And by Wilson Aviator, the golf ball that's made to feel and made to fly. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies to Hong Kong from more top business centers with 3-class Royal Pacific service. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television. Again, the winner of the 31st United States Women's Open Golf Championship was Jan Stevenson of Australia, the first time she's ever won it. And don't bet against her winning more and more, because she's one of the real, authentic, fine practitioners and players of the game of golf in the women's area. Jan Stevenson has done it. Congratulations to her. We'll all see you at the PGA from Riviera.